Chapter 8. Why Should We Care About the Library? Karanveer Kaushal. There is a display currently running at the English Historical Centre about Ashurbanipal, Lord of Assyria. It would not be to be expected if you have never known about his name, as neither the Lord nor the Assyrian culture is recognizable to the more significant part of us in the West. Ashurbanipal was the last lord of the Assyrian domain, the most prominent age. He is known for his triumphs in growing the realm, being savage with his foes, yet additionally for his grant and for building an incredible library. The revelation of his library is viewed as quite possibly the main archaeological finds of the 19th century. At whatever point we concentrate on any occasion or figure ever, it is critical to comprehend the way of life, conviction, frameworks, and upsides of the general public at that point, to have the option to see the subject we are concentrating on in its complete setting, thus giving it its actual worth. This is particularly important when the subject is strange to our way of life. One of the remarkable relics portrayed in the representation is the Lord battling with lions. For an advanced crowd, this may be viewed as viciousness and brutality. In any case, an antiquated Assyrian would have an alternate view on this. Lions, a famous image in Assyrian culture, addresses a natural, crude, wild piece of nature. An Assyrian lord would be relied upon to substantiate himself, ready to control this crude, wild piece of nature and ensure his kin against all that was wild and dangerous on the planet. Lion chasing proceeded as a custom as opposed to joy or happiness. As a rule, the lord himself could be helpless against injury or even passing. Aside from his title as a lion tracker and a hero, he was additionally viewed as an extraordinary researcher. Truth be told, what we think about the Assyrians today comes from the cuneiform tablets found in his library. Around 30,000 tablets on history, writing, music, petitions, magic, medicines, and authoritative archives were housed in Ashurbanipal's library. One of the long-lasting traditions of Assyria and other Mesopotamian communities was their ability to organize and legislate. Ashurbanipal's library had examples of agreements, housing loans, and sanctuary accounts. He additionally figured out how to peruse and compose on the tablets and was soon ready to peruse any cuneiform tablet, regardless of how old it was, just as having the option to peruse in different dialects. Among the writings found in his library were some consecrated works, for example, the Enuma Elish and the Fantasy of Gilgamesh. His library also contained books on lords, signs, guidelines for ceremonies, supplications, wizardry, and medication. His dad, Esarhaddon, utilized stargazers who composed reports on the presence of the sun, moon, and heavenly bodies, which were kept in Ashurbanipal's library. Because of these tablets, we approach probably the most punctual records on cosmology and soothsaying. Ashurbanipal's advantage in information proceeded all through his rule. While he was extending the domain, perceiving the significance of safeguarding the past, he sent emissaries to each mark of the relative multitude of terrains under his influence. He had them recover or duplicate the books of that city or town, taking everything back to Nineveh for the regal library. The tablets were found in the vestiges of Nineveh, the capital of the Assyrian realm. As happened to the more significant part of the old-fashioned libraries, it was at one point devoured by fire. Notwithstanding, dissimilar to with paper or material parchments, the mud tablets were by and sizable heated harder. Improving them persisted reports. It is generally accepted that Alexander the Incomparable visited the regal library of Ashurbanipal. This gave him a thought that would later turn into the Incomparable Library of Alexandria. Considering the assortment of writings contained in the library and the significance he provided for information, we can say with assurance that he wasn't just an incredible and merciless ruler, yet, in addition, an extraordinary researcher and advertiser.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?